With me now is Jeffrey Bloodworth, political analyst at Gannon University. Jeffrey, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
We are into day 8. The strikes continue, but Trump says tremendous progress has been made. What would he consider progress, and is it what everybody else is considering progress?
Well, they have successfully taken off the head of the Iranian government. I mean, any number of leaders at the highest level, from the president on down, have been killed in the first hours of the strike. But the president's call for unconditional surrender, I don't know how the tactics that they have are going to achieve that particular strategy. So I see some significant space between the president's call of significant achievements versus what this strategic objective is of the United States, which is unconditional surrender.
And what would the U.S. have to do to achieve an unconditional surrender? Is it boots on the ground?
I would think, how could it be any other way? I mean, in World War II, unconditional surrender meant American troops in Tokyo and Berlin. This is a regime in Iran. I mean, they understand that if they're deposed, they're very unpopular, and they're likely to be tried and, convicted at best and in prison. Death is a reasonable scenario. And so if you're the Iranian leadership, the only way you would leave is through boots on the ground. I can't imagine. I have not heard a military strategist imagine any other way this regime leaves willingly on its own, and that's only by boots on the ground. The Israelis, it's a country of 7 million. The Israelis can't do this. This is, the United States, and the president's own party has extreme unwillingness, understandably so, to put American troops in mass numbers in a country of, 90 million people.
So with that unwillingness, what's a more realistic outcome then for the president?
I think the realistic outcome is to find some Iranian leadership that, has some feet in reality that coincides with the West, that you can deal with, that will no longer be exporting terrorism abroad and be a source of instability in the region. I mean, this is the best case scenario the United States can achieve, but can this be done via air power? I'm highly dubious at that. I mean, it seems to me the best the U.S. and Israel can achieve is to significantly reduce Iran's military capabilities, which is what they've achieved. I suspect after a few weeks, the president might just declare victory and, call an end to this latest chapter in what is a 40-year conflict between the U.S. and Israel. I can't see a scenario in which the Iranians, leave power, this regime, without American troops on the ground.
Can we read into anything about Iran's president saying the attacks on neighboring countries were a mistake? Is that some kind of a conciliation attempt, or is it just hollow words?
Well, it can be both, right? I mean, I think it's conciliatory in some ways because they understand that Iran is not exactly popular in the Arab world outside the Shia community, and they've marred their standing with these wanton attacks. At the same time, I hear that you read that there is a gap between the president, Masoud Pezeshkian, and the Iranian Revolutionary Guard, who have stand firmly behind these strikes. I mean, this is another problem. Once you degrade the Iranian leadership, we're not exactly sure who's wholly and completely in charge of Iranian policy at this point. Who is going to do the unconditional surrendering? And President Pezeshkian, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard? This is unclear.
Okay, we have to wrap it up there, but Jeffrey, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Jeffrey Bloodworth is a political analyst at Gannon University.